Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. 2023 is finally here by the time this video goes live anyway. I'm actually filming it in advance of our Christmas holiday travels, so I just wanted to wish everyone a Happy New Year, and I hope you all thrive in the year ahead. I know I have set myself quite a few New Year's resolutions this year, so I thought I would kick off the year and share it with you so I can help myself stay committed to some of my goals. So I've printed them out here so I don't forget anything. It's quite a long list. It really centers around two main themes, as you'll see, but yeah, I'm just going to jump right in and get started. So my first resolution for this year is that 2023 is going to be a low buy year for me. You may have noticed that I have grown quite an extensive collection of handbags, of fragrances, of just my wardrobe in general has gotten stuffed to the gills. It seems like whenever I have space, and whenever I have space, I will fill it. Whenever I have money, I will spend it. And it has not been healthy the last few years, especially since COVID. And in 2022, my husband and I, at the end of the year, have been going through our finances, and I have spent entirely way too much money. I definitely have a shopping problem, and I am committing to stopping, and there's quite a few things I'll be doing to kind of help myself get through it. But let's just say 2023 is definitely going to be a year of a low buy year for me, where I am going to do the following things to kind of help me on my journey. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've already created a budget for 2023 of monthly expenses, things I know I need, and I've left a little tiny bit of leeway there for things that I may just, occasionally want to purchase. But I am going to make sure that I stick by my rules, use a wish list for all of those items, and only purchase the things that I need or absolutely cannot live without for whatever reason in my own mind. The second thing related to that is using cash only for my purchases, my debit card primarily. That is definitely how I'm going to not get myself into the crazy credit card situation that I had towards the end of this year. It was a little bit outrageous how much money I was just spending month after month, and some of the debt that I had accumulated. So paying that off and using cash for my purchases. So I think that'll be a big help for me. The next thing is using what I have, and as you can see, I have an abundance. If you could see what is in kind of my bathroom, in my drawers, in my linen closet in there, I have so much beauty, I have so much makeup, I have so much stuff. I definitely have enough to get me through a year, maybe with a few things that, like mascaras and things that you need to replenish just because you can't use them for extended periods of time. But everything else, I definitely have an abundance of. I am a little bit of a hoarder these days, and I need to use and appreciate what I have. And part of using what I have is actually wearing what I have. I have purchased so many things since moving to Florida. I think my change in lifestyle the last few years has been pretty significant. Then I lost some weight, and I used that as an excuse to purchase a whole bunch of new clothes. And at the end of the day, I still remain wearing like 20% of what I have 80% of the time, or whatever that rule is. That is definitely me. I am guilty of purchasing things for my fantasy self, for the person who used to work in an office environment, for the person who used to live in a colder climate. Yeah, I've bought a lot of things that I am not wearing. Getting dressed every day and, putting on makeup and not letting myself be kind of the remote worker that I have become, the typical remote worker who, dresses up from the waist up and just, puts on makeup when I'm going to get on a video, things like that. I need to kind of get myself motivated, and I think that'll be really helpful for me to kind of use what I have and appreciate what I have. The next goal I have on here is to declutter and edit my life. And part of editing my life is what I consume on social media. I definitely am one of those people who watches way too many videos and scrolls through Instagram for inspiration, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's not. So I definitely have been going through and editing what I'm consuming and knowing what my triggers are, and trying to unsubscribe or at least put a pause on some of those things. And then in addition to that, I have watched a lot of content about, people who've done low buys and no buys and have just decluttered away everything. I am not someone who's going to do that, but I am committed to decluttering throughout the year as I realize kind of what I'm using, what I'm not using, and what makes sense to declutter. I'm trying to take a more mindful approach, realize what I have and am using and am loving, and keeping it, and decluttering the rest. So I think that is kind of my motto for life really, is to try to focus on the things you love and declutter the rest. And I think, I really need to start making an effort to do that in my own life. Because, even though times have changed, my lifestyle has changed, I need to kind of pay attention to who I am now, and kind of live for this moment and not, the past, and not thinking about the future or the fantasy self, just getting rid of those things, focusing on the now. The next thing I wrote down here is replacing bad habits with good ones. And this is sort of my second major focus area. So my first focus area is really all about the low buy year and things I need to do to be more mindful with my spending and decluttering and not being a hoarder and making my life a lot simpler in the end. And the second sort of general theme is replacing bad habits with good ones. So a lot of the times that I am spending, doing things that aren't really healthy, like shopping and scrolling and watching tons and tons of content that is not necessarily great for me, at least this time of my life, I am going to try to replace those habits with good ones. So focusing on my holistic health, I definitely am someone who needs to focus a little bit more on my mental health. I know that I have some issues. You may have noticed I am a collector, and I definitely have also suffered with anxiety my whole life. So I definitely want to talk to a therapist and get back into doing some work on myself and on some of the triggers, the reasons behind why, some of the bad habits are happening. I want to do more work on my physical health. So going to a gym, which I have for free in my neighborhood, and I just don't utilize it. I really need to start moving my body more, getting out of my space, and kind of replacing my habit in the morning of scrolling on my phone. My husband always gets up before me, and I end up, sitting in bed scrolling on my phone. I can use that time to go to the gym, to take a long walk, to do things that get me out of the house into the fresh air, and I can actually walk to the gym from where I live. So it's just, I'm just completely have been lazy the last few years, and really need to start moving my body more, being outdoors in nature, and spending less time when I have it available doing things that aren't productive. I also want to focus on, obviously eating better. I've always focused on eating better. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I occasionally get off of my routine. I have been doing intermittent fasting, which has really helped to lose some weight. However, I haven't really worked out much, so losing weight is great, but as you get older, things start to sag and shift, and you still don't feel that great. So moving my body more and making sure that I'm eating the right kinds of food is really where it's at, because it's one thing to kind of manage my calorie intake, but if the calorie intake is a bunch of garbage, that's not really great either. So yeah, focusing on what I'm consuming, drinking more water. I know when I exercise, I always tend to drink more water. It just makes me thirstier throughout the day, so that will, I know, go hand in hand. And then also my emotional health. I am someone who gets on again, off again with my journaling habit. I like to journal. It's a good habit. It's something I want to do more of, but I've been guilty of the last few months anyway, not journaling at all, other than I do have a gratitude journal that I have been doing on and off. But I really need to commit to doing, I've got the 5-minute journal. I need to do my 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, kind of get my head into a good place, continue with doing that, and journal as I go through this journey, which I think this gives me a reason to, or something to write about, just to kind of see how I'm feeling, check in with myself, and help me kind of manage my headspace a little bit. The other thing I have on here, I've got therapy, reading. I want to read more. So I have committed to 12 books a year over the last few years. I'm going to up it to 24 books in 2023. I think reading is a really great, I'm not someone who has a lot of hobbies, but for me, it is a really great hobby. It's a really great way to escape out of my crazy head, which I am one of those people who my head is always going, and it's hard for me to kind of slow it down and focus on something else. So reading, I think, is a great way. And I've done a good job over the last few years of kind of cutting out or blocking out as much as I can a lot of media because I feel like that was making me crazy, and I needed to just like stop myself from constantly consuming what was going on in the world. Not that I don't want to know, but I have plenty of apps that I can read my news in the morning one time during the day and not just be inundated with the things that make me a little mental. So I think that will continue, and I can kind of focus on reading things that are enjoyable and things that are helpful. I know I've already got some books on my list for this year. I use the Goodreads app. For anyone else who may be on there, I would love to connect with you. I use the Goodreads app, and there's a few books I already have on there that are like self-help types of things, dealing with some of the things I know are part of why I am the way I am with my borderline OCD habits and my anxiety. So definitely trying to, get into my adult self a little more and manage those things is what I'm kind of the goal for 2023. And then finally, the last thing I have on my list is to refocus the content here on my channel. So I love making videos, and there are times when I think to myself, maybe social media isn't so good for me because obviously I'm someone who's easily influenced. I really enjoy sharing some of the things that I love and the passions that I love, but I really have to find a way to do that without bringing new stuff into my life all the time. So my focus is going to, on Sundays, I'm going to still be doing videos with the same type of content you have seen in the past, but instead of, for example, doing favorites videos with all new things, I will probably be doing favorites videos, or I will be doing favorites videos with things that I already have and am using and am loving and all of that. And as I do kind of my, fall essentials or winter essentials and those types of videos, I will kind of go through my closet, shop my closet, use what I have, be more mindful about my consumption. All of those things I think are great ways for me to be able to still produce content while doing things that are helpful for me. And in addition to that, I have decided I'm actually going to do 2 videos a week because I am such a lover of fragrance. I'm staring at my huge fragrance collection here, and it's something that I really enjoy. It's a passion of mine. It's not something that I want to declutter down to 10 fragrances or anything like that. I will declutter a little bit along the way because I have gone way out of control with it. However, since I have so many fragrances, I might as well talk about them, and I might as well connect with people who also love them. So I will be doing fragrance content based on what I have, and I will be doing a fragrance video on Friday. So it'll be my Fragrance Friday video. So anyone who is interested in fragrances can check those videos out. Anyone who isn't doesn't have to watch them. So feel free to tune out on Fridays, but I would love for anyone who is interested in fragrance to join me on Fridays, and I will, I've got a whole bunch of content planned. I'll probably be doing, a monthly perfume tray and talking about some of the fragrances that I am planning to wear for the month, all of those kinds of things. But yeah, that is kind of where my channel is going in 2023, a little bit about some of my kind of goals or resolutions for the new year. And I would love to know if there is anything you would like me to talk about or get into more here on my channel. Please leave it in the comments below, because I'm always interested in, putting content out there that is interesting and helpful. And yeah, I want to stay connected. By the way, I just want to say this, my love of all of the things that are passions of mine, handbags, fragrances, beauty, all of that, has not changed. I am not looking, like I said, to like downsize my collections of things to nothing, but at the same time, I do need to really slow my roll. And so that is kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I'm hoping to get into a healthier place where I'm managing my money better and my spending better when we get into 2024. And so, yeah, what really prompted this, besides, credit card debt and just spending entirely way too much money this year was the fact that when you add up the money I spent, there are things that I've had on my wish list for years and years, and some of those things may be Hermes related, that I could have bought like, you know, several times over, and I you know, spent my money away on like stupid things. And my husband always says to me, you know, I want you to get the things that you love, and I hate to see you kind of whittle your money away on all this crap. And he's absolutely right. And so, yeah, I need to get better about how I spend my money, and I don't want to spend nearly as much as I have been. And I want to be happy and healthy. And I mean that, you know, physically, mentally, all of it. And so, yeah, that's what my focus will be. So anyway, sorry for such a long ramble at the end there, but this was a lot to get out. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have any recommendations for me for content, please leave it below. And thank you all for watching. I wish you all a happy and healthy 2023, and I will see you on Friday for my first Fragrance Friday video. Have a great day.